You're playing around a golf, if you're playing at a higher level or just at a nice course, they'll usually have a yardage book available. Now, one of the things I recommend doing is getting that yardage book and taking a look at the holes and actually drawing strategically where you want your shots to end up and what club you need to hit off the tee to get there and how far in you'll have on your approach shot, so that way you can begin to do course simulations and practice your approach shots. I suggest practicing hitting shots to the center of the green and making sure on your approach that you're accommodating for the slope, which is how high or low the basically if you're hitting and it's uphill, right, or if it's downhill. Next, you also want to make sure on your approach shot that you're accommodating for the if it's back, if it's 5 yards behind center or 5 yards in front. So knowing based off the center how you need to adjust your approach shot so that it gets closer to the hole. The last thing you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you're also accommodating for wind. And you can do this by looking up at the trees. Pick up some of the grass and toss it. If it's in your face, you're going to want to pay attention, or if it's downwind, your shot will go farther. If it's into your face, it won't go as far. It's also really important to accommodate how you are at sea level. So if you're really high up in the mountain ranges, your ball is going to go farther because the air is thinner, and if you're closer to sea level, it won't go as far. Additionally, if it's basically being in altitude, depending on what course you're playing. If it's really hot in the summer, it's going to be drier, right? And so when the grass is drier, when you hit a drive, for example, it'll hit and it'll run out farther. A lot of times on the higher level courses, a lot of times the greens will be drier, so they'll also be firmer. So when you hit a shot, your ball might roll out more. Your putts might be quicker as well. So really just factoring that in. This is the place to do that, to really build your strategy and to know what kind of a course you're getting yourself involved in, and to see strategically, can I keep my shot under the hole as best as you can, so that when if you do miss hit it, that you still have like a nice margin of green to work with, so you can get up and down and manage the two putts. So knowing when to be conservative and aggressive, this is the place to make those decisions.
All right, so if I'm doing a course simulation out here, let's imagine it's a par 4, it's 400 yards long, and there's like some fairway bunkers that go about as far as I'd hit my driver. So maybe they're 300 yards out. And now I have a 3-iron so that I can lay up short of the bunkers, right? Because I'm thinking smart. It's part of my strategy. And I'm going to go up, take my practice swing. And remember, this is a course you're going to be playing. So you're envisioning the courses in front of you on the driving range. And you'd go up and you'd literally hit the shot, okay? And after you hit the shot, if it went left or right, you'd go back to your bag, and now that I've hit the shot, I would go and I'd drop another ball to where I'd have my wedge shot. So now I've hit it a little bit left of the fairway, for example. Now I have a wedge shot in on this 400-yard par 4. I hit it 300 yards. Now I have 100 yards left. I'm short of the bunkers. So now I practice. I'm gonna hit this little wedge shot, right? Go back, take my 2 swings, boom, boom, and go up, and then hit this wedge shot. And then I hit it, and if you can pause it. In my simulation, I missed the green by a little bit, and now have to hit a chip shot to the hole, okay? And so I'm practicing as if I'm in the course. I'm using our practice facility as if I'm really in the course. I'm visualizing. I hit it just a little bit short, and then I go here, and then you'd hit the shot, okay? And then after you hit the shot, you'd keep the simulation going. Just like this, you throw it up. Let's say you hit the green, and you hit a great shot. Then you'd go up, and you do your routine. And basically, you putt out, okay? So what you want to do is use your driving range as if we're simulating the hole, just like you saw on the map. It's a 400-yard par 4. You hit your tee shot. Wherever your tee shot actually ends up, you hit the same approach shot, and you're practicing toward the center of the green. And then after you hit your approach shot, wherever that ended up, if you hit it heavy or short or left or right, try and use your practice facility to pretend that you're near the green and imagine you're playing the hole in the course in your mind so you can get confident and comfortable with the shots you need to hit on the par 3s. What iron do you need to hit? Is it a 3/4 swing, a full swing? Getting yourself prepared for game day using the practice facility to the best of your abilities. Thank you. So when I'm out playing, we're on the course right now, and one of the first things I like to do is to say, okay, how far away from the hole are we? So I can guess, I can maybe try and find a marker. I'm gonna guess we're about 100, 105 yards out, but to be sure, I use a Leopold. It's a rangefinder, and it helps me gauge the distance. They use military technology. If you're competing, you don't want to use one that measures slope. You'll want to factor that in manually. But if you're not competing, then you can use one with slope or before a tournament round. So right now, so we're about 96 yards away, and now I know that. So I can also measure the bunkers, any types of hazards, or the flag stick to see how far away I am precisely from my intended target. Now, another thing I really like to do is we have to keep in mind what's the temperature like. Right now it's warm, it's probably about 70 degrees. And so that means my ball flight's gonna not fluctuate too much. If it's colder, it won't go as far. If it's hotter and drier, it'll go farther. So right now, I also want to test for wind. Right now there's very little bit of wind coming into my face. Now, a great way to test how the wind is by looking up at the trees to see how much the trees are moving. Because we know that the higher up the ball goes, the more the wind is going to affect it. So if the wind's coming into our face and I hit a high shot, it's not going to go as far. If the wind's coming from behind this way, then the ball's going to go farther. So that's going to affect the outcome of my intended shot. Thank you.